My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. It's time for another Empties video, and this time, for the first time in my no-buy year, looking before me, I do believe that the number of empties is a little bit smaller than it has been. It's still a lot. It's still shockingly a lot, given that these are the empties from the 7th month of my no-buy year, and still they are significant, but I think they're finally starting to taper off. It may be that by the end of the year, my skincare and body care categories will almost to a 1 be empty or be reduced down to the single one that I will then continue replacing. Obviously that's not true of makeup, but I'm starting to see serious progress in the categories that tend to have faster turnover. There's a lot to talk about today, so let's go ahead and get straight into the meat of the video. As usual, I'm going to start with body care, move through hair care, skin care, and then finish up with makeup. My first body care item isn't really technically in the realm of body care, but that's where it makes sense to put it, and I really wanted to share it with you. It is this magnificent and semi-ridiculous item that I absolutely love. This is laundry detergent. It is a collaboration between The Laundress and Le Labo. The Laundress is a shop that makes fancy detergent and specialized detergent for delicates, I believe, and Le Labo is my favorite perfumery. It's a small and elite perfume house that makes some of the best smells to be smelled on this earth. I believe that they make a detergent scented with their rose scent, Rose 31 I think it is, and then Santal 33 is, I believe, Le Labo's best-selling and most famous fragrance. It is the fragrance of the candles that Beyonce burns in her home. It's actually one of my all-time favorite scents. I've never had a full-size bottle of it, but I've had a number of little bottles and decants of it, and it is absolutely wonderful. I do find it a little bit masculine, but I like that. It's not masculine in that it smells like a man's cologne. It doesn't have any of the hallmark notes of men's cologne. It's just masculine in that it's strong and earthy and spicy and heady. And I don't think that its masculinity excludes women from wearing it. In fact, to me, the term masculine doesn't even mean that it's something that's for men or of men, because I believe that women have a masculinity inside of them and a femininity, and that men have both a masculinity and a femininity inside of them. So to me, this just calls to the masculinity inside of me. Anyway, the detergent. Okay, so take it as a given that Santal 33 is one of my favorite scents of all time, and that it does have kind of a mysterious depth to it that makes it the kind of thing that you want to have lingering around yourself, in your clothes, in your hair. So having it in a detergent is an absolute dream come true. I originally received this detergent as a gift from my sister, a Christmas gift, not this past holiday season, but the one all the way before. So it was Christmas at the end of 2016. It's so indulgent, it's so ridiculous, it's so expensive. It's $45, I believe, for this bottle of detergent. And I think Ellie just wanted to get me the most absurd item that was on my Christmas wish list, so that was why she sprung for it. And I loved it so much, and I used it up last year, and then when my no-buy year was about to start, the end of 2017, this was a last-minute panic purchase. It was like one of the many indulgences that I piled on to the very tail end of 2017 because part of me was panicking about the fact that I was about to start this project and I didn't know what it was going to be like. So I bought myself this bottle, and I only just finished it up this month, and I used it every time I did laundry, and so that means that it lasted for about 7 months. Let's say 6 months to be conservative, because I think it arrived halfway through January due to shipping. This is really concentrated, and on the back it says to use 1/8 of a cup or 4 capfuls for a high efficiency washer, which would come out to 16 washes. But I got way more washes than that out of this. I used it every time I did laundry, which was at least twice a week for 6 months. So that means, so that's 48 loads of laundry. And I think that's probably the minimum of the laundry that I did. I might have done an extra load here and there. I definitely didn't do fewer than that. So I got 48 loads of laundry out of this, almost 50, if not 50 loads of laundry out of this. And if this is $45, that's less than $1 a load. That's probably too much to pay for ordinary detergent. Ordinary laundry detergent, $1 a load seems like too much. But the added value of the scent in this product is such a joy. It is something that brings me so much pleasure. The smell of my laundry when it's hanging out on the rack and drying, or when I open the dryer to take it out, the smell of my closet. It's not heavy, it's very light. It's light enough so that it doesn't necessarily interfere with other scents that I might wear. It's more something that I smell when I interact with my clothes rather than something that other people can smell on me. My feeling is that my laundry is rarely actually dirty. You know what I mean? Like it's not often actually dirt-y, like it needs to be cleansed of dirt. Sometimes it might have some sweat on it or just a little bit of mustiness from having been worn a couple of times. But I only need a little bit of soap. And for me, given how long this lasted and that it breaks down to about $1 a load, I would buy it again. I will buy it again. I can't buy it during my no-buy year because we have laundry detergent, we have our house detergent that we buy, and even though it's a household item and this was a personal item, I can't in good conscience go out and buy this again right now. It would be totally at odds with the mission of my no-buy year, and it's definitely a luxury and something that I can live without, but I'm really glad that I had it, and I'll buy it again next year, or I'll ask for it for Christmas again. Okay, moving on to actual body care. I used up the last smidge of this Lush product, 5 o'clock Whistle. It is a shave lotion, and I hated the way that it smelled. It's supposed to be, it's just like, it's citrusy for sure. It definitely has like lemon in it, like a strong lemon. I'm not sure what else is underneath that. It just makes me, it's like a sour and very earthy smell. I like earthy smells, but I tend not to really like sour or dirty citrus, maybe. I don't know. And it's interesting because I did that video about why Lush is so addictive, and I've been talking a lot lately about my old habit of always looking for something to want and wanting to want something. This was purchased during one of those shopping trips where I was desperately looking for something to want. The more that I read about dopamine, the more that I'm learning that as you over-trigger dopamine and flood your system with dopamine, the dopamine receptors become weaker and weaker, and basically you get less excited by the thing that excites you the more you do it. I think that that was what was going on towards the end of 2017 when my shopping habits were getting super out of control. I was in Lush, which is usually a place that I would go ham and be so excited, and there would be so many things I would want, and I would have to whittle down my cart. But I was in there and I just felt kind of dull and bored, and like nothing was making me feel those same old feelings. I was there to get those same old good feelings, those shopping feelings, but I wasn't getting them, and I didn't know why. And the result was that I ended up buying this product that I had no desire for, that I actually disliked the smell of. I didn't even like it in the store, but I bought it anyway because I was just going through the motions. I didn't reach for it every time I shaved, and that's why it took 7 months to use it up. And also it's a very waxy product. It's probably not wax, it's probably whatever it is gets stuck between the blades of the razor and immediately makes the razor difficult to use. So I was constantly having to like shake out the little bits of solidified oil and wash it out and then use it again, and it was a pain to use. I didn't like the smell. It's also a testament to how shot my entire pleasure system was by the end of 2017, right before I started this project. This is another Lush product that I actually did love as much as one can love a body lotion when one hates body lotions, which is me. I just don't like putting cold, yucky lotion onto my skin anytime. So that's why I never used this up, and it's totally expired. That's why it's in here. It says used by July 12, 2016. And I kept hanging on to it past that date because I felt like it was fine, like it smelled fine. At this point, I think it's like a little bit separated, and also it's so far past the date. It's like 2 years past. So even if it smelled and felt fine and looked fine, I would feel a little squeamish about putting it on my body. So unfortunately, it's here in my empties, even though it's not empty. But it just goes to show me that I shouldn't be buying big bottles of body lotion. I shouldn't have done it then, and I definitely won't be doing it in the future. So my last empties video marked the end of my endless bars and bottles and tubes and everything of body soap that I had had in my possession when the year began. So I looked around for a place to buy soap, and I decided to buy this soap from House of Gloy, which is an independent soap and scent maker. I believe they make lotions too. It's like an indie Lush is what I said in that other video. And it was a great ordering experience. I did like the scent. So I purchased the whipped soap, and the scent is called Sanctum. It was a beautiful scent and definitely original and addictive in the way that Lush's scents also are. I'm really interested in trying more from House of Gloy. However, this lasted barely any time at all. I think it was just over 2 weeks that this lasted, because it's a whipped soap. So it was all puffed up inside of here. It was like a jar full of whipped cream, sort of, like a stiff whipped cream. What amount of a whipped cream substance would you need to wash your body? Like 2 tablespoons full? But you can see from the size of this jar that if I got even just 1 and definitely 2 tablespoons full every time I showered, which is once a day, it would only last 2 weeks. It's a really small jar. And the other thing that happened was that it was super, super hot, still is, I don't know if you can tell, and it kind of melted, and then the whip kind of fell. So it started out as a full whipped container, and then it melted and it became kind of this sticky paste with much less mass than it had originally had. So it kind of melted down to half its original volume. As soon as I saw it happening, I put it in the fridge so that it would solidify in its semi-whipped state, but it really didn't work. And every time I took it out to shower, if I would ever forget about it for a couple of hours, it would melt more and it would condense further, and by the end it was really like a sticky paste. It was like a pomade soap, and I think that that is not at all the experience that the makers of this soap intend. And I'm not faulting them because the heat here was unusual, but I did want to make a note of it. However, it was the size of the jar that made me decide against making another purchase from them. If they made bigger jars, like if they made the same product in a jar 5 times this size, I would purchase that. I'm just not gonna place a new order every 2 or 3 weeks for this and pay shipping every 2 or 3 weeks for this. And during my no buy year, I would have to do that. I can't bulk order something during my no buy year. I have to just order one at a time. I might bulk order from House of Gloy in 2019 because I do really like their scents, as far as I can tell, and I did really like this product in spite of its weird collapsing in the heat. but I did not purchase it again when this ran out. What I did was that I bought a huge bottle of Lush shower gel. The scent that I chose is called It's Raining Men. It's a liquid version of Lush's Honey I Washed the Kids scent, which is just a very richly sweet, honey scented body cleansing product. And I've had it before. I've been a Lushie in my past life, as you all know. It's a scent that I love. It's creamy, it's moisturizing. I love everything about it. And I did a lot of comparison shopping price-wise when I was deciding what to buy for body wash. I looked at the price per ounce of a ton of different products. I wanted to get something that would feel really, really lovely to me because I'm going to be using it absolutely every day. And I decided I wanted to get something that would last a really long time because I'm tired of buying stuff. I didn't want to buy something small and then immediately have to repurchase it and have another empty, another piece of trash. Every time I go to use it, I get this delicious feeling. It smells so good. I think of it even before I go into the shower, and I've had it now for weeks. It's a little burst of pleasure in my day every time I get to use it. So I feel really good about that repurchase, and I feel also really good about the fact that I bought the really big bottle and I don't have to think about replacing my body wash now, hopefully for months and months. I only have one hair product and it's a little sample packet. It's the Briogeo Curl Charisma Stuff Leave-In Defining Cream. So this is a product that you put into your hair after you wash it while it's still wet, and then you either blow dry it or you let it dry in your hair. I don't blow dry my hair. I don't even own a blow dryer, so that's not what I'm doing with it. Anyway, I got this little sample packet and I was like, well, I'll try it because this is a category of item that I really do love. Like a curl definer or a wave maker that you put in when your hair is wet and then you let it dry, and it enhances the natural texture of your hair. That's something that I really love. There's a Bumble & Bumble product called Don't Blow It that does the same thing that I've loved for a long time and repurchased a number of times. I don't think I have it right now. This is Briogeo's version of that, and it is amazing. It's amazing. It works so well. When I wash my hair every week or 10 days, I wash it at night, and then if I'm going to put anything in it like this, I put it in then, and then I just let it dry overnight while I'm sleeping. I let it air dry. And when I wake up in the morning, when I put this in, my hair was pretty much as volumized and textured as it was when I used my Holy Grail shampoo, the IGK 1995 2-in-1 shampoo and texturizing thing. I ran out of that shampoo months ago, so I haven't been able to use it because I have other shampoos that I'm having to get through. And I miss the extreme volume and texture that it would give to my hair. This basically brought that back for the 2 or 3 uses that I was able to get out of this little packet. My dream, and what I cannot wait to try, is the 2 of them together. I think it would be really amazing to have that and then have this. Now, I have a bunch of random hair products, creams, thickening, blah, blah, blah. There's absolutely no way that I can purchase this product right now. I can't see myself running out and buying this on January 1st of 2019. It's just that when the day comes that I feel I'm ready to buy a leave-in thickening and texturizing cream, this is the one that I will buy. All right, skincare comprises the absolute brunt of my empties. Right on top here, I have this nasty. This was a Lush face mask. It's one of their jelly face masks, which was new at the end of last year, I think. And this just went bad. It's used by February 17th, 2018, so it's months past, and it's totally separated and gross in there. It's really, really not something that I can use. And the reason I didn't use it up is that when I first got it, it was a Christmas gift. I used it right away, and then I immediately had a really bad breakout. And I'm pretty confident that you can't tell right away with one use if a thing breaks you out. I think that there are always so many factors at play. Like at the time, I was home for the holidays. I was eating things that I don't usually eat. I had traveled on an airplane. I was probably stressed. There were all of these things going on, all of these factors that could have contributed to my breakout. So I'm not able to say that this is what broke me out. It could very well not have been, but it did spook me. And it also wasn't that pleasant to use. I remember it was really messy and crumbly, and I never reached for it after that. I used it that one time, didn't enjoy using it, got a breakout, and then I just accidentally let it go bad. I always thought, oh, I'll try it again, but I looked at the expiration date and I was like, and no, I won't. Misha. This is the Time Revolution Treatment Essence. So an essence in the Korean skincare routine is the thing that you put on before toner. So it's the first thing to hit your face after you wash your face. And the idea is that it helps to rebalance your skin. And I think that different essences do that to different degrees, like in different ways. The way that I believe in the most is with yeast. So there are a number of products that are on the market that are first treatment essences that make use of ferments to do good things for the skin. The most famous one is the SK2 first treatment essence that looks exactly like this. This is a dupe for that. And the first treatment essence by SK2 is like ridiculously expensive. I mean, I think it's well over $100 for the bottle that's this size. And the ingredient that they're famous for, that they talk about as their proprietary ingredient, I think it's called Pitera. They call it Pitera. That's their coined term for their very, very special yeast ferment. But as far as I understand it, the thing that makes Pitera powerful, the thing that makes it transformative to your skin, is galactomyces. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but it seems like that's how it would be pronounced. Galactomyces being the ferment of yeast that helps to make sure that the skin's barrier is healthy, and that balances the pH of your skin and just generally makes it more able to repair itself and more able to keep bad stuff out and good stuff in. So this is a dupe for the SK2. It's by Misha, which is a K-beauty brand. It's a very, very watery essence, and I 100% believe in the efficacy of galactomyces for keeping the skin healthy. This to me is one of my beauty secrets. I'm like, my beauty secret. But you know what I mean? When I think about the few tips and tricks that I've gathered over the years, things that I really think kind of help take my skin from pretty good to looking glowy, looking youthful most days, this is one of them. You know, skincare, it's like I do think that everything that I'm using is working. I've done a lot of trial and error, but we can't say with absolute certainty that this is the thing that is making my skin glow. You know what I mean? I can't say that, but I do currently still firmly believe in galactomyces and want to put them on my skin every day. I'm not even sure if you say them with galactomyces. I want to put it on my skin. I believe that balancing the pH of my skin after cleansing using a yeast ferment product is doing good things for me, and it's not something that I'm about to stop. However, I was tired of using this product by the time that I was through with it, simply for the absolutely petty and lazy reason that it's packaged in this clunky glass jar and it has this clunky lid, and then you have to like dump it into your hand, and then it's in your hand and this is in your hand, and it's like what you want to then do is that, so you have to put it down, then the lid's not on it, so then you do it and then you have to put the lid back on it. This is not sounding like a real problem. The longer I describe it, the dumber it sounds. My skincare routine is not as long as it has been at times. I'm starting to pare it down a little bit. I'm starting to simplify, but there are still a number of steps. And especially in the morning, I want to get through them as fast as possible. And I did not appreciate how long it took logistically to use this product. It's just the bottle. I was like, nyeh, nyeh. So I replaced it with a different Galactomyces essence is all I'm trying to tell you. I purchased the COSRX Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence, and it's in a convenient pump. So it just sits on my vanity like this. I actually usually store this somewhere else. I just put it on here for the video. It sits on my vanity like this, and then I just go into my hand, and it's much more convenient and quicker to use than the other one was. This one is also more viscous. So a true essence, most essences have that super watery feeling that the Misha one does. This one is like a cross between an essence and a serum. And I actually like that. I feel like it's more moisturizing. It still sinks all the way into my skin and it doesn't mess with the other layers of my skincare. But again, as I start to pare down my routine, and my morning routine especially has gotten a little bit sparer than it has been in recent months, it's nice to have a slightly more heavy-duty product in the essence role. Guess what I bought? Sheet masks. So there was all of the business with the sheet masks. I used up all my sheet masks. I was angsting about not wanting to spend the money on new sheet masks, and then I just decided not to buy any new sheet masks. And since we last spoke about this topic, I realized that I was being a moron, even though I had really enjoyed my expensive sheet masks towards the end of the lifespan of my sheet mask collection. That didn't mean that I had to buy expensive ones in order to start sheet masking again. So I went on Amazon and I bought one of these really inexpensive big packets. I want to say that this was like $10 for 20 or something. The price was incredible, and of course I will link these below as well. But I had never tried these before. I had at one time purchased a huge multi-pack of K-Beauty sheet masks at a very low price from Amazon, and I had only kind of liked them. These I loved. I just like them a lot better. They make my skin feel really soft. They fit my face really well. They come in all of these different flavors, and I definitely did notice a difference in the scent between the different ones. Like the tea tree one definitely had tea tree oil in it, and some of the others, like the vitamin C one, definitely smelled like citrus. There's at least a drop or two of the substance of whatever it is they're touting in each of these individual masks. Although I think that overall it's just the same formula, and it's a formula that I really liked. And as I've said before, I generally just use sheet masks for sealing in my other products. So I'll put on all my nighttime skincare except for my night cream, and I'll sometimes go ham with the oils. Then I'll put on a sheet mask and I'll let everything soak in, using the sheet mask to seal moisture in so that it doesn't evaporate and it forces moisture deeper into the skin. And then after I take it off, I'll usually layer on my night cream and then go to sleep. Although sometimes I would just kind of fall half asleep with one of these on and then peel it off and fall the rest of the way asleep. And the serum was so powerful that I would wake up with really smooth, moisturized skin in the morning without even having used a sleeping pack. So these are called My Real Skin, and the brand appears to be COS.W. Highly recommend. I'll repurchase these. I think I'm almost out. I think I might have one left. I've been masking a lot. I've been sheet masking a lot. Since I got these, I've been going through them pretty fast. I mean, I think I purchased them shortly after we last talked. I had actually already purchased them when I filmed my last Empties video. I just forgot to mention them. Sorry. So the pack lasted me almost 2 months, probably pretty much 2 months. Well worth it. Good Genes. This is my second bottle this year. I haven't repurchased it, and you know what I did? I purchased the ordinary 10%. I'm gonna try it. I'm worried that I'm gonna regret it, and that I'm gonna regret having to make my way through that whole bottle before I can repurchase Good Genes again. But I just don't have the money right now, to be honest. I could probably scrape it together if I desperately wanted it. But again, I don't want to shop like that anymore. I don't want to put it on my credit card and then have to scrimp and save It's not just the lactic acid in this product that makes it amazing. It's an all-around spectacular formulation. It's like a facial. It's like a facial in a bottle. I can't afford a facial in a bottle right now, but I don't want to drop lactic acid from my routine. So I'm purchasing a less exciting and much less expensive lactic acid to get me through to someday when I feel like I'm ready to invest in another bottle of this. Maybe that day won't come. Maybe my skin will go on being just as well behaved as it has been over the past couple of months, and I won't ever feel the need to repurchase this. But right now, all I can say is that I mourn its passing, but it doesn't hurt the way it used to. This is my no-buy year, and I don't feel these things as deeply as I once did, and I'm much happier about that than I could possibly be about a new bottle of Good Genes. Speaking of the ordinary, I ran out of buffet and I ordered another bottle. This is my peptide serum. It was my only peptide serum and I think it's great. I want peptides in my routine on principle because of the reading that I've done and because of talking to a couple of estheticians about what I should think about using on the daily. Because it's kind of something that I want on principle, I feel like getting them from The Ordinary is a good choice. It's like not breaking the bank and I can feel like I'm putting my peptides onto my skin. I use this every morning. The Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream from Sunday Riley. I absolutely love this product. This is sort of a gel cream, or it says it's a gel cream, but it's a really creamy gel cream because I don't really like gel creams that much. I have dry skin, so I like a thick layer. This can give you a thick layer, but I imagine that it's a little bit more pleasant to use for oily skin people than thicker creams are, so it's kind of like works for everyone type of thing. The only problem with this for me is its price, because as you all already know if you've been following me, I've learned that I absolutely cannot be using high-end products in the role of night mask, sleeping cream, night moisturizer, night cream, whatever it is that you call it. For me, it's the thing that I put on last over top of all my other skincare, and then I sleep in that. And I usually put on a pretty thick layer. So that was the last sleeping cream that I had, and I replaced that category with the Laneige Water Sleeping Mask, which is fine. It's fine, but I don't love it. I won't repurchase it. It's fine, but it's not what I love. It's just, I like a cream, and it's definitely a gel. Don't even say it in the comments. The CeraVe Night Cream is the one that's on my list. I'm absolutely gonna try that next. I've got 1,000 recommendations to try that, and I think the reason I had resisted trying it up until now is that it has shea butter in the ingredients list, and I didn't realize that shea butter is not comedogenic. Shea butter doesn't clog your pores. It's like a 0 on the comedogeneity scale. There's a scale of how likely things are to clog your pores, and I always assumed that shea butter was kind of in the middle, but it's actually at 0. I just looked it up recently, and then I was like, I'm definitely gonna try that CeraVe cream, because that was the one thing that was keeping me from trying it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so when I purchased this Laneige sleeping cream, the sample that came in my Sephora order was this Dr. Brandt Hydrobionic Recovery Sleeping Mask, and it was a coincidence because this, I have no doubt in my mind, is a dupe for the Laneige Water Sleeping Mask. I think that Dr. Brandt, and I'll be eating my words if it turns out that this product was developed long ago and that it preceded the other one, but I feel like Dr. Brandt might have developed this product in the wake of the popularity of the Laneige Water Sleeping Mask, because it's basically a gel sleeping mask, hydrobiotic. The texture is exactly the same as the Laneige. Everything about it is the same as the Laneige one, except that it doesn't work as well for me. I thought that this was a subpar product compared to that one, and I definitely would never purchase the full size of this. I would repurchase the Laneige Water Sleeping Mask before I would purchase this product from Dr. Brandt. I finally got through this big old deluxe sample size of the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Cream. I'm not gonna buy this, but it worked it really kept my under eyes in good shape. I tended to use this like for a couple of, I'm just gonna leave it there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye under eye. I looked in the mirror several times during the tenure of that sample and grudgingly admitted that I thought my under eyes looked particularly smooth and bright, and I'm pretty sure that that product was helping. I'm not very interested in IT Cosmetics. I really like their Superhero Stretch Mascara, but overall the brand really has like a gimmicky feel to me. Just the way that everything's packaged and sold. I just don't like that. I don't like that it's like miracle in a jar, like erase your everything and lines disappear overnight. I just, wasn't it originally developed to be sold on like the shopping network or QVC or something? I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me want to run the other way. And obviously that doesn't mean that their products don't work, because the Superhero Stretch Mascara is one of the best mascaras I've ever had. And I really liked that eye cream too when I was using the sample. I just am so picky now about what I buy, and even if it's a good eye cream, I'm not going to buy it from a brand that makes me feel that way. Although I might buy the Superhero Stretch Mascara again. It was just so good. Okay, so I had another eye cream. It's Strivectin. I bought it in Ulta one time. I almost never go to Ulta. I've been to Ulta like 5 times in my life, but I needed an eye cream. I got sucked into the marketing of this. It was like, you know, super powerful medical grade eye concentrate that was developed for use on the deepest wrinkles in the world and will work instantly and you'll be 10 years younger, you know. And I didn't notice a difference with this actually. Like I can say that I noticed a difference with Bye Bye Under Eye, and this Strivectin did nothing for me, but I used it up. Ugh, I had to replace my camera battery, so I'm sorry if the frame jumped or something, but the new battery that I just put in is also very low in juice, so I'm going to try to zoom through the rest of these products. Okay, so I had these little samples of the L'Occitane Creme Comfort Ultra Riche and Light Comforting Cream. So this is the Ultra Rich and this is the Light Comforting Cream. This is how I found out about shea butter, because I wanted to try these, but they have shea butter in them. So I looked it up and I learned that it's not as pore clogging as I had originally thought. In fact, it's not pore clogging at all. So then I felt safe trying these out and they work perfectly fine, but definitely not anything remarkable and definitely not something that I would purchase, especially given that I think these are quite pricey. I had this little sample packet of the GOsilk Activating Water Essence. I feel like an essence is something the results of which you see over time, and so a little foil packet like this where you just get one use out of it, like how could I possibly learn whether it's a good product or not? I genuinely have no idea. Alright, that's all the skincare, but I do have some little sample sizes of primers, which are kind of like half skincare, half makeup, so I'll go ahead and talk about those. I had a Makeup Forever Step 1 Hydrating Primer foil packet, and this actually impressed me. It was really hydrating and lotiony, but then it also had that sort of smoothing, almost silicone-y surface feel, although I'm not sure it actually is a silicone product, but you know what I mean. It ended up having that nice dry down, and it didn't make me look like super dewy or oily, but it was hydrating. It was just really nice. I think the Makeup Forever primers, this range is really good, and I had the color correcting one for a long time and I loved it. I don't know if I would invest in this. I can't see myself doing that in the future, but I was glad to be able to try this and to find out that I really do like it and that I can recommend it to someone who might want a hydrating primer maybe at some point. It was a good research experience. Hashtag research. And I have sort of the same feelings about this Estee Lauder, the Universal Smoothing Primer. It's definitely a silicone primer. It's like one of those clear, gummy silicone primers. Gummy is not the right word because it's not sticky in any way. It's just like liquid silicone. It didn't pill on me. It provided a really nice smooth surface. I like a silicone primer, that's what I tend to go for. So I used this right up. I opened it, I started using it, and then I just used it until it was done. It was nice. But then I totally forgot about it until I found this in my empties, so I don't think I'll be repurchasing this at any time in the future. I imagine that this is the kind of primer for which there are many, many, many drugstore dupes because it was good, but it was basic. Speaking of primers, I finally ran completely out of the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. I had had a full size, I believe, in my last empties, and then this was my travel size. I repurchased this. This was my very last speck of primer. I can show you the product. I repurchased the full size. This is it. And that's how thick it is. Like, it's really, really, I don't know if you can see. It's like a thick, and you can feel when it's stiff. Like when you start to blend it out, it's stiff, and you can see that it's like, well, I don't know how much you can see. It's like a full-on layer. It's a layer. It really has body on the skin. But I love the color. I like how it's brightening on me, that sort of light pink sheer. It's a bit mattifying. It's not intended to be, but you know, optical illusion, it's supposed to be kind of blurring and smoothing, and it does all of those things. I noticed that my skin looks significantly better directly after I apply this primer, even with nothing else on it, and I think it does contribute to me being able to go without base makeup on many days. Not every day, but many days these days I've been going without base makeup, and I'm sure that this primer is helping to contribute to the even tone of my skin. Speaking of primers, this was like a gift with purchase or something. It came paired with a Dior mascara, which I have long since panned and used up and put in empties. It is the Dior Maximizer, the lash primer, and here's what happened. I love this product, by the way. I've had a couple of small sample sizes of this over the course of my lifetime, and it works spectacularly well. It's not a category. I can't purchase a lash primer this year. I'm not going to purchase one this year. So I was excited to have this, but the stopper came out like the first time I opened it. Oh no, I remember what happened. When I pulled it out the first time, sorry, this is really gross, the brush got stuck. It was like the brush stayed in and only a stick came out. So I finagled with it and messed with it, and like, I think what I did was I pulled the stopper out so that I could get the brush out, and then I put it back in, but I couldn't put the stopper back in. It's just a mess. Like without a stopper, it's like a gooey, stringy mess. And I tried to use it 3 or 4 times, but I can't anymore. There's no way to get any more use out of it. It's become disgusting and it's gotta go. I panned a lip product. Isn't that exciting? This is the Josie Maran, what is it? I can't find the name on this anywhere. I don't know what the product is called, but it's basically a lip balm that is plumping. It's like a stinging, plumping lip balm. And the reason that I like it is that it does work. It is effective. It's very luxe, and it does plump the lips. It's twisted all the way up. You can see I've been digging into it to get the last little bit out. It plumps the lips, but it is matte. It's a matte finish. It's not shiny at all. It's really got like a chapstick finish, like a Burt's Bees chapstick kind of finish on the lips. So it provides some satin looking moisture. Like it's not a matte finish. It's not like a matte liquid lipstick, obviously, but it's a satin finish. And I like that because sometimes I want to give my lips a little bit more fullness and hydration, but I don't want like a lip gloss look. It's one of those things that I liked it and I reached for it a lot, and I'm sure if I bought it again, I would reach for it some more. But the novelty has very much worn off with this, and I don't think I'm gonna miss it. So to me, that kind of says that I shouldn't buy it again. It's a very good product, and I'm glad that I had it, but I honestly don't think that I'm gonna miss it very much. And then lastly, I just have these 2 little empty singles containers for Urban Decay shadows. These aren't panned or emptied, but I did depot them. This one was Lounge, which I love. I love this. It's one of my all-time favorite eyeshadows. And this one was Midnight Rodeo, which I also really love. And I had not touched these all year because they're by themselves and they're in like a separate little drawer where I store my separately packaged eyeshadows. And I just never opened that little drawer. I reached for my palettes and I depotted these and I put them in my Z palette. And I have been using both of them nonstop ever since I did that. So here they are down in the bottom corner of my Z palette. This one is Lounge and this one is Midnight Rodeo. I'll swatch them. Lounge, Midnight Rodeo. Midnight Rodeo has some glitter in it. It's like a really pretty silvery taupe with glitters. And actually I have a bit of it on my lids today. So I'm going to be getting rid of these little bits of empty packaging, and I'm really pleased that these two beautiful singles have been liberated from the back of the drawer and are now part of the everyday crew. And that is it. Apparently having a bit fewer of empties does not make my empties videos shorter. I'll see what I can do about that next month. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll remember to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the